Hello parents and teachers. I want to talk to you today after 8 weeks of online learning out here in China. One thing that we always talk about the importance of in education is reading. It really is a skill that is made up of many other skills and underpins learning in every subject. I want to share with you a couple of the things that I've noticed as I've struggled to provide online learning and support homeschooling for the children I've been working with during this time. Two things that we identified children may be missing when they're not at school that make up a huge part of their education and really are a huge part of developing reading are social communication and storytelling. And what I mean is the social communication that is a part of everyday life in school. Remember that your children are used to being in a class with 20, 25, 30 plus children. They are hearing lots of great ideas, they're hearing some not so great ideas, and they're always learning what should they be doing and what shouldn't they be doing from their peers. That doesn't happen so easily when you're at home. Secondly, storytelling. By storytelling, I don't just mean reading books, watching movies, although they are absolutely essential. I mean the way that we help children learn ideas by using stories. Using stories is a really great way to engage children to learn about everything from history, science, maths. It doesn't matter. We as humans engage with narratives, with stories, and we even put our own stories on things that happen in the world. So I want you to think about that as you try to teach some of these tricky ideas to your children. First of all, here are some links to some of the great websites that are easily found with a Google search, but I put some in one place here for you that are offering free or temporarily free resources to help with support for reading. The first one is RazKids. It looks a bit like this. It's great because it is accessible, as you can see, on laptops, on tablets. It's like reading a very colourful ebook reader, and it also has audio recordings that you can listen to as you read and questions that check children's understanding, and that's really great bit about it. That one is free until the end of the school year. There is also this one for slightly younger children, teachyourmonstertoread.com. I know that's already very popular, but it is free at the moment. And it really gamifies and adds an element of fun to reading the sounds that young learners absolutely need to learn. Here's another one. This is Epic. And Epic, I believe some features are free at the moment, but this is just a way of accessing loads and loads of really great, rich, high quality texts. Sometimes the books we get our children to read, even some of the ones on RazKids or Oxford Reading Tree, serve a purpose to teach some new words at the right age group or level for those children, but they're not the kind of engaging storytelling that we want children to learn to love so that they become readers out in the world. A couple more. This one is called Classroom Secrets, and here are some ways of showing comprehension and understanding of topics that are typically taught for each year group, and it's broken down by all the year groups and the typical topics you would find. Again, with the kind of comprehension questions that I'm going to talk a bit about in a moment, that are really as important in reading as being able to follow along on the page and pronounce all the words. Finally, this website, teachingpacks.co.uk, I want to show you some of the free resources that are in the homeschooling bundle, because this is what I mean by the skills outside of just reading the words are as important in reading. This, for example, is a really great activity to encourage creativity amongst children, but also to think about delving deeper than what information we get at the surface when we're reading. The text here is the picture of the dog, but all these questions can allow someone to really engage with this picture, use their imagination, make connections with the outside world, make inferences, and develop their understanding of information. And that's really what teaching reading is about. With that in mind, I think it's important to remember, although children need to learn how to read and sound out words and understand what sounds, what parts of language to expect when they see different letters and different letter clusters, reading passively only improves those decoding skills. What we try to do in school, and this is the real challenge, is to develop a greater set of skills. And these skills come through social communication and evaluation of storytelling. So for example, reading together, listening to other people read, and really engaging with a text, with a story, can provide much more deep learning and a learning of a set of skills that can be used anywhere. It's important to encourage questions, to infer meaning, and to talk about why we think things mean the things they do. Evaluate the quality of the books the children are reading. Make connections with other books and movies and other things the children have seen. And a really important skill on top of sounding out the words is being able to say, I don't want to read this book anymore. This is a bad book. Close a book halfway through and make decisions about what it is young learners want to read. So here are some of the skills that we try to teach in school. I would not teach all of these skills in one go, but I would say to children, we're going to focus on one of these. Let's say the purple one, predicting, is a great start. The language that is given there, I predict that something, something, something. I wonder if something, something, something. I bet that something, something, something. I give that to the children, and it's okay to maybe take one of these as a card, give it to the children and say, what can you tell me about the book using these? Try that with all of the different cards. Try that by giving the language. Try that by focusing on one skill. One skill per week will develop a very wide range of skills over just a couple of months. But finally, and this is really, really important, none of these teaching of skills, questions, evaluating should get in the way of really enjoying reading. And I would say if at any point a child is getting upset because they can't do any of these skills, forget it. Focus on having fun reading books. One positive thing to come out of this homeschooling opportunity is that we have got so much time to read.